everyone. Today we have with us Suryasikha Ray, who has recently received an All India rank of 5 in the prestigious West Bengal Judiciary Services examination in her very first attempt. Ma'am has been kind enough to accept our invite and be here to guide our viewers. Welcome, ma'am. It's a great pleasure to have you here. I request you to please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much.
Right. Please introduce yourself, after which we can begin with the session, ma'am.
Okay, so my name is Suryasikha and I have recently qualified West Bengal Judicial Service exam. I am from West Bengal itself. I grew up in Kharagpur and did my college education in Kolkata. I have completed LLB and LLM both from Department of Law, Calcutta University, and recently I cleared judiciary services in my first attempt.
Thank you so much for the introduction, ma'am. To begin with, can you talk about what inspired you to pursue law in the first place, and then opt for a career in judiciary? So, was it pre-decided, or was it some significant happening after which you decided to go for judiciary?
Okay. I grew up in a place where very few people wanted to take up law in my school. I don't know if any of my seniors took up law ever before me. So over there, everyone was focused on medical and engineering. I also come from a background. My parents are from mathematics fields, and my sister is also uh, in the science stream. She's a doctor. So initially, everyone expected me also to be a doctor or an engineer, but I somehow liked social sciences more. I always wanted to take up some humanities stream later on. And that is when my parents suggested that law could be a good career option. It is a professional field as well, a professional course. So they suggested that I could take up law, and I also found interest, and accordingly, I took admission into law. At that time, I did not know about judicial services, but in college, I saw many seniors who were preparing, and eventually they all cracked, became judges. So that motivated me to give this exam a try. So accordingly, I took advice from them and my mentors, and I started preparing.
Coming to today's discussion, can you tell us about the structure of this examination, and could you also let us in on your preparation journey for the pre and the mains, and also tell us when you started preparing for it?
Yes, I started preparing in 2021 after my graduation. So this exam is basically of three stages: prelims, mains, and personality test. I prepared mostly for mains. My focus was on mains because that 1100 marks is very important. The final merit list is based on 1100 marks mains and 100 marks interview. Now, what will be asked in interview is not in our hands. Mains is something which we can really do well and score marks over there. So that is why my focus was on mains. And in prelims, I did not give much focus in the beginning, but towards the end, like after the notification was released, I did MCQs extensively because in prelims, there is a time limit, there is negative marking. Even for 0.33 marks, people have lost their chance to appear in a mains. So I would just take one subject, finish one topic, see what questions came in mains in the past papers, and did all relevant MCQs from different books and past papers. That is how I prepared for these two stages, and after mains, I started preparing for interview.
So can you tell us more about your interview strategy? How did you prepare for it? And did you come across any unexpected question, so to say, which might have waffled you in front of the panel?
Yes, for interview, my seniors who cracked before me told that any question can be asked. It is a personality test. They are checking your personality, not your knowledge of law, because legal knowledge has been tested in mains. So, in the interview, any question from anywhere can be asked. So, I asked different seniors, saw their interviews, what kind of questions they got. I did some mock interviews, and accordingly I tried to brush up my entire law syllabus properly. In addition to that, I did GK current affairs as much as I could. They have a tendency to ask personal questions like what is your background, where do you come from, your school, college, all general knowledge related to that. These things I tried to do. I covered as much as possible, and then in the interview everyone will get some question or the other which they may not be able to answer. My suggestion would be just be honest over there, tell them that I can't recall or I am not aware. it is all right. They are just checking your personality. And yes, one question was quite tough for me. At least I did not prepare that part, so I found it tough. There was one question that from Benami Transactions Act, that why do people do Benami transactions? Explain with reference to land law. This was a bit tough for me because um, these subjects are not there in mains and prelims. I did not revise West Bengal land laws and Benami Transactions Act immediately before interview. So I found that part a bit tough. I still told whatever I knew, and then the Honorable Justice explained the rest to me. The interview panel was very nice, very amicable, so there is nothing to be scared of. Just admit that you don't know if you don't know something. That won't affect your marks, I feel.
Right. So there are times when preparing for a vast curriculum can feel very overwhelming. So how did you stay motivated throughout the long preparation process for this exam?
Yes, that is a very important thing, like how to stay motivated, because sometime or the other, even the best prepared candidates will feel down. This time we had some delay due to procedural reasons. So candidates can feel down or motivated. It is very normal. So what I did was I tried to speak to optimistic people at home. My mother was very optimistic about my results. I studied under a teacher for judicial service. She was also very optimistic about my results. I tried to speak to such people more. I avoided people who tend to say negative things. I tried to listen to some music, read some book, take some time off from my preparation. I went for a walk, maybe met some friends, and again then I came back to study. So that is how I tried to keep my consistency whenever I felt down. But it is normal. Everyone feels down sometime or the other during preparation. You can just take a day off from your prep, do some thing different, focus on some hobby, or spend time with some person that you like, and then you can again come back. It is very normal. It is not possible to keep the tempo high all throughout the process.
Right. Ma'am, how important do you think mock tests and previous year question papers are in the preparation process, and how did they help you?
Yes, mock tests and previous year questions are very important because writing skills are very important. I feel everyone knows the same set of laws, but in the exam, people who write very well end up scoring the highest marks. So, if one answers mock tests and gets it evaluated from some experienced person, that will help the candidate develop the writing skills. If the mentor gives some good feedback, that can help the candidate improve. And mock tests, if you do it with a set 3 hour time, that will help you manage your time in the examination hall as well, because in the colleges we do not have 100 marks for 3 hours. At least in my college I had 80 marks for 3 hours. In judicial it was 100 marks. So time management is very important. If you answer mock tests, you will uh, be able to manage time and try to get your answers evaluated by someone. I had a mentor who evaluated my answers, gave feedback, so that helped me uh, rectify my mistakes and improve my answer writing skills. And past year questions are also very important. Usually we feel very overwhelmed. There is so much to study, what to cover, what to not cover. If you see the past papers, you will understand what are the most important areas. You can shortlist those, keep revising those again and again. You can write answers from the past papers. I think that will help you is the exam.
Right. Now, I believe many students would want to know this. Since you were doing your LLM at the same time, how did you manage your master's and the judiciary preparation together? So, can you give us any time management tips for same?
Yes, I went for a 2 year master's because in 2 year master's the study pressure is lesser than 1 year courses. And for me, LLM was my plan B. Judiciary was plan A, and then I thought if I did not get, maybe I will go for academics. That is why I did LLM. Also, LLM gave me a sense of security because during judicial preparation, we often feel that we are losing so many years. What if we don't crack? But in my case, I had LLM as a backup, so I knew that I have other options open. I can go to academia after 2 years. So these uh, were the positive sides of doing LLM. And time management you can do like I did in crime and tort. So my LLM subjects in judicial service papers were common. I got some extra help from LLM as well. Also, before college, like my college was from 10 to 4, so before classes, one can study in the morning and then again in the evening and night. That is how the candidate can just time oneself. I think it is possible to do LLM and judicial service preparation together. In fact, LLM will help if you have common subjects.
Right. Did you face any setbacks during your preparation? And if so, how did you bounce back from them?
Yes, I faced some setbacks, of course. Like initially, we faced a major delay due to some procedural reasons. We did not know when the exam is going to happen. So, at that time, keeping one's consistency and preparing was a bit tough for us. Also, just before my judicial service exams, I appeared for the state eligibility test. I did not prepare well, but I just wanted to give it a try and I did not succeed. Later on, I analyzed the paper and understood that my jurisprudence, international law, these subjects were weak. But right before judicial prelims, I thought that I couldn't qualify set. It is just a MCQ based test. And then what will I do in judicial service? It is such a long process, such a tough exam because set and net is known to be easier than judicial service. Those are qualifying exams and set is even easier than net. So I thought that this is such an easy exam, I couldn't qualify. How will I go for judiciary? But I think in my case, MCQs are not my strength. Writing skills and interview were strong for me. In MCQ, also in the prelims, I did not score very high. I just scored a bit above the cutoff. But my writing skills primarily helped me ace the mains and get the rank. So that was one setback. It brought down my confidence to an extent. Also, between my mains and interview, I lost my grandmother. That was a personal setback. I had a difficult phase mentally, but then I had to keep preparing for the interview. The interview got a bit delayed, so I could recover from that and again start preparing. So these were a few things that I faced.
Right. Ma'am, can you share any strategies for managing exam stress and anxiety?
Yes, I used to have a lot of exam stress and anxiety, and I don't know if I have managed it well, but I would say just keep telling yourself that I can do it. If you have decided to appear for this exam, that means deep within you know that you are capable. So don't let any negativity affect you. There will be people who will say that judicial exams are tough. Such and such person is so good, they couldn't qualify. How will you? I had people who said such things on Facebook and Instagram. There are some meme pages where memes are made regarding judiciary and negative things are told, like judicial exams are so tough, you will go to the viva and then you will come back to square one. Such memes are made and shared by people from the legal fraternity on the social media. So try to keep yourself away from these things, or at least don't take these seriously. Try to speak to people who can boost your confidence. In my case, at home, it was my mother and it was my mentor who kept on telling that I can do it. So try to speak to such people. If you have some hobbies, take out some time, focus on those hobbies, read good things, listen to good music, visit places sometimes instead of just staying locked in the room and studying. I think you can manage. Everyone will feel stress or anxious at some point of time, and not necessarily it is always negative stress. It can be positive stress to do better, but I think it is possible to manage. Initially, we all find it overwhelming, but once you get the hang of it, you will be able to manage till the interview.
Right. Ma'am, finally, what advice do you have for someone who is just getting started on their journey to become a judicial services aspirant?
Okay, I would like to appreciate their courage firstly, because preparing and appearing in judicial service needs a lot of courage. There are many people who feel scared to prepare, who leave preparation midway. I have even seen people having so much exam phobia that even after filling the form, they did not go and appear. So, if someone is preparing consistently and then appearing, irrespective of the results, I would appreciate your strength and your courage. And I would say that don't lose hope, don't let any kind of negativity affect you. don't listen to failure stories, focus more on success stories, interact with people who have done good in life or who have cracked this exam. Try to take help from as many people as you can. Don't listen to wrong advice. Try to find good people who can give you the right kind of advice. And just believe in yourself that if you can set your mind to something, you will definitely achieve it. And all the best. If any of the aspirants need any help from me, they can always contact me. I'm active on social media, on LinkedIn. One can definitely get in touch with me. I would say just keep your preparation consistent, study for a few hours every day, do mock tests, write your answers regularly, do past papers, and you will definitely be able to complete everything in good time. If you just stay consistent and prepare for 8 to 10 months, I think the whole syllabus will be complete. And in 1 year, it is absolutely possible to cover the syllabus and appear. So if anyone needs any assistance from me, I will be happy to help.
That brings us to the end of the session, ma'am. Thank you very much for taking out time to join this discussion. Your insights were incredibly valuable, and I am very sure that the audience will benefit greatly from the wisdom that you've shared. On behalf of ILCC, I thank you once again and wish you the very best for your journey in the judicial services. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me.